What's up, guys? So this is my first video on not just vlogging, that's sharing my life as a vegan. This is sharing my passion as a vegan. So that's what this channel is all about, sharing the passion and life. Okay, so this is going to be a video on how and why I became a vegan. And maybe I'll connect with you guys. Maybe you guys have had the same experience. Okay, I think it goes back to probably around, middle of elementary school, around third grade. Um, my family is a big family. Um, Not just like thick, like built. My genetics and stuff like that. I'm a big guy. I'm 6 feet 3 inches tall, and I'm around 200 pounds. So yeah, I'm a big guy. And my dad's six tall, 6 feet 6 inches tall. His dad, my grandpa, he wears like a size 16 shoe. So yeah, my family's tall, pretty thick people. We're not like super skinny, like skinny legs and stuff. We're a big family. Anyway, um, we didn't really do good eating habits, years ago, like way back when I was a kid. Um, Mostly what I ate was, I would say, fish and vegetables. I called it chicken fish or something. That was me and my dad. Me and my dad have such a big connection. I mean, we get along so well, and we have just such like the close. Me and my dad are probably the closest, part of my entire family. I mean, I love my dad so much, but my dad suffers with a lot of medical problems, and yeah, I got a lot of that from him. And he's the main cook in the house, as I've shared. Um, a lot of the pictures of the food he makes on Vegan Amino, he likes to cook, and he's 100% supportive of the vegan lifestyle. As me and my mom are vegan. I just turned my mom vegan, by the way. So basically, back around third grade, I really started to put on a lot of weight, and I attribute that to my grandparents. After school, they would always take me out to eat. We'd go out to a steakhouse or something. We'd go to Red Lobster and Olive Garden and stuff like that. And I would get like salad. I would get steak and shrimp. I would get a chicken Caesar salad and yeah, just a lot of pasta dishes with ravioli, cheese, and all that kind of stuff. That's what I ate. And yeah, the Caesar salad at a restaurant's around 1,000 calories just for a small one. And it's not the good calories. It's got cheese, lettuce, and croutons, just sodium built up like crazy. And that's what I ate for a long time. I ate that like I went out to eat with them like several times a week. Yeah, I would come home and sometimes we go to the buffet, and I would eat so much. Sometimes I would just get home and just puke. Like I would just puke like everything up because I would eat so much, and I ate so much like you know, satisfaction food, and it wasn't good combining or anything. It was just my body didn't like it. But that wasn't really the food. It's because I ate so much. The buffet, you eat as much as you want. But yeah, and fourth and fifth grade, and I got pretty big, and I was really thick. So it kind of started in around the same time when I was a kid. Even though I did ate like shit all the time, I was always a really I love the environment. I like to take care of. I always like to go to the store and buy like all the vegan organic products, all the flavorings and minimally processed foods and stuff like that. I always like to get like LEDs, CFL light bulbs and stuff like that. I always like to ride my bike. I rode my bike everywhere. I mean, that's what I did. I had friends, all around where I live, and I rode my bike everywhere. No matter if it was in another city, I rode my bike. You know, and me and my friend, we used to walk. My best friend, we used to walk just down the street. There was a convenience store with a bunch of, candy, junk food, and there's alcohol there too. But that was it's just a little convenience store. And we would take change out of my jar. We would walk down the street, and we would probably spend like $5 to $10 worth of candy and junk food and sugary drinks and Gatorade, Powerade, and stuff like that. And yeah, we'd eat pretty unhealthy, but that's what we did. That was fun. That was fun for me. And I remember a lot of those times. That was fun. We walked there. We didn't get a ride there. We walked. That was just a fun time being a kid. But as you get older, it's not always the same. Even though I was only like around 10. I was still in elementary school. I was like 6 to 10 years old, 6 to 11 years old. Yeah, I started putting on a lot of weight, and I got pretty big. And I started around 5th grade. I was playing for my local area or county. There was football, and don't like football, by the way. I just don't like the sport at all. I think it's just overhyped and just, I don't know. That might have to do with I never got to play, and it's just the plays I don't understand. I just don't understand the game works. You just throw the ball, you run the end zone. That's it. That's all I really understand. I don't understand the plays and how this person goes. And I just never got into football. I'm just not a football fan. Not really a sports fan, anyways. Basketball or hockey or soccer or whatever. I'm not really a fan of sports, anyways. But yeah, that's kind of the way it was, and I'll never forget it. I was playing football, and the coach, I remember talking to him, and he was talking about like how I need to make weight or something. And my mom and dad heard this. He was like, "You're kidding me." He's like, "Nope, I know, I don't like it either, but there are some parents where they want their little Joey, they don't want their little Johnny to get hurt, so you have to be a certain weight to make Pee Wee football. You have to go to the upper playing with I was 11 years old, and because I didn't make weight, I had to go play with 14, 15-year-olds. These people were taller than me, they were bigger than me. One guy was huge. He was like probably over 200 pounds. I'd say 220 maybe. This guy was like 14 to 15 years old, but this guy was pretty big, and I had to play with those guys. I had to play with guys that have experienced for years, and I didn't get a good chance to learn. I kind of got forced into it, and that's actually kind of the way my life is. I always get forced into stuff to learn it so quick. I never get a chance to ease into it like I do technology and health and fitness. I eased into learning that stuff, and now it is stuck with me forever. I know how to explain it in terms people don't understand. If you were to ask me about football, I'd be like, what? Basketball, what? Soccer, hockey? I don't know. I played it, but I didn't play hockey or anything like that. I played basketball and football, and that's about it. But those are the sports that I never really got into because I never really got to play. The only sport I got to play was cross country, and that's about it. I'll get to that later. But the coach told me to make weight. Like, what do you eat? Like, what do you do? Drink soda or something like that? It was like, yeah, I drink a lot of soda. I mean, it's the kind of way us kids are. We sneak into the fridge, grab Coke or Pepsi or something, and pour it. I was drinking like 10 cans of soda a day. I was just. My mom didn't like it, I know that, but I snuck when she wasn't looking, and I'm sure you guys have done that too. Yeah, he said, the coach told me to, hey, give up soda, that's bad for you, man. And some reason, that just stuck with me. That day, I stopped drinking soda. I just stopped. I didn't drink it again, and I just started drinking Gatorade, Powerade, just the sugar, just keep the sugar going, because if I completely stopped the sugar drinks, then I'd probably get like big time effects for stopping that. But I think for around a year or two, I think I just kept drinking Gatorade and Powerade, and then eventually my taste buds just changed, I guess. And yeah, I just stopped drinking that. I started drinking a lot more water. And since May of 2006, I was 11 years old. May 15th, 2006. That marks the day I stopped drinking soda. So it has been over 10 years. I have not had a sip of pop. Some Sprite, Sierra Mist, root beer, Coke, Diet Coke, Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, even ginger ale or Vernors or the red pop or orange soda, that stuff. Yeah, I don't have any carbonation like soda. I do have carbonated water. I remember a few times I did. I don't know if that really counts, but I know every time I drink carbonated water, like my throat would just sting. Like I could not get used to the carbonation. It was just, oh, this stuff sucks. And then I think about it in sixth grade. My family, we used to watch The Biggest Loser. I mean, obviously, I didn't know the secrets behind it. I didn't know how unhealthy it was. I didn't know. I'll get to how I found out later. This is gonna be a long video. It's a long story. I just want to, tell the entire story. Sixth grade, my family, we learned a thing or two. Biggest Loser. It's not all, it's not all bad, but what they do say on there is eat whole wheat instead of white refined stuff. That's what we did. And so we stopped buying white refined foods and we started buying whole wheat bread and stuff like that. And it's a good transition, pretty easy. A little more expensive, but that's for sure. But yeah, we got that in, and that was a good change. And then fast forward to eighth grade, I joined cross country because I was not in a sport at all. I was a big freaking guy. I was 6 feet. I was about 5'11" to 6 feet tall around there, and I was about almost 200 pounds. I was a big guy. And in eighth grade, yeah, I was a big guy, and I joined cross country. Now, the only experience that my dad was in cross country when he was in high school, and his best time was like 21:40 something. Yeah, cross country was a big back then. It was all football and basketball. Cross country was kind of like the lower end sport, and it still kind of is. It's not really popular, but the main thing I loved about cross country, and I'm sure everyone else that has joined the sport in high school or middle school, is no matter how bad or slash slow you are, you will always be able to enter. You will always be able to race. It doesn't matter how bad you are. It doesn't matter how slow you are. You will always get to race. It's the best thing ever. I mean, you get to train, and coach I met was the nicest guy I ever met. His name was Coach Mitchell. He was just such a nice guy. He always talked to me. And yeah, that's another thing. I was a very quiet, very shy person. Back at school, I'd always be overshadowed by people. They voice over me and, kind of shut me up. And I kind of grew, and then my voice wasn't very important. So I just stopped getting the confidence of talking. So that kind of sucked. And spent my whole high school, education, career, and stuff like that, and trying to build it back up. And I'll get to that later. So basically, eighth grade, I joined cross country. I dropped like 20 pounds at the end of the year, and before that, the first 8 weeks, I could not run. I don't know why this happened, but I got a bad case of bronchitis, like some phlegm just got stuck on my lungs, and every time I try to run, I would just start coughing and just I have trouble breathing because I'd be coughing so much. I'd cough phlegm up sometimes. It was really gross. Anytime I would try to run, I would just start coughing. The best I could do was speed walk, and even that was hard sometimes. But I got on some anabolic steroids, not like illegal steroids, but like steroids to make my lungs stronger. So every time I take a breath, and or my lungs would try to expand, it'd be able to break off the phlegm because it was just it was just stuck in my lungs. My lungs was having trouble expanding. That's why I started coughing. And that took about 8 weeks, and no training at all. All I could do was just walk, occasional speed walk. That was it. No running at all unless I wanted to cough up something. And I don't remember my time. I think it was like 12 minutes or something. 11 or 12 minutes for a 2-mile race. That's what we did. And that was a long time ago. I don't remember exactly. But then freshman year through, that I didn't run at all. And freshman year I started back to where I started from, so I had to start from square one again, and train again, because I wasn't really committed. I just, And then freshman year I did pretty good. Did around 22 minutes. Didn't run again. Did track that year. Too much for what I was doing. I was, school, cross country, and then track the next season, and then choir. I was in choir, so that took a lot of time off that. So I only did track my freshman year, and that was it. I just did cross country though. 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. No track. And it was after my sophomore year that I really started to commit, and I was like, okay, I don't want to go through this again. I just want to keep running, and I did keep running, and I did absolutely everything I could, and there were days where I was just I would basically, I'm going to go into how much I ate. I ate so much food, literally. And I know, athletes that train as hard as, cross-country runners and, Michael Phelps and all the marathon runners and stuff like that, but the Ironman, entries, they eat like 10,000 calories a day. That's almost where I was. I was eating about 6,000 to 7,000 calories a day, probably. I mean, my dad would make this, actually, I'm sorry, I skipped it. Around, it was on March 9th, 2011. That was my sophomore year in the spring. March 9th, 2011, that was my sophomore year. And I became a pescatarian. I eliminated all meat. Well, I thought I was vegetarian at the time. I didn't know about pescatarian. But I ate fish, no other meat at all. I still drank milk. I still ate eggs. I still consumed honey and all that. And I just wanted to see if it would improve. And it actually did improve a bit. But I couldn't really tell the difference if because I kept running or if I had a diet change, so I couldn't really tell. But I either way it happened, I definitely did improve. And that was a good bonus. I didn't have to, worry about training at all, and being slow and being hurt all the time, and my muscles won't be able to keep up. Everything was good, and that was all good. And through my senior year, I ran a 5K in 19 minutes 14 seconds. That was my fastest one. And I did some races, and fifth third Riverbank Run, which is world famous run in Grand Rapids. It wasn't there. It was where I live in Grand Haven. It was 44 minutes 42 seconds for a 10K. I realized it was a lot slower than 5K versus 10K. If you just add up, it's like 39 minutes or something like that. So it wasn't 100% good, but I did okay. And around 3 years later, after I was pescatarian, I decided to cut out fish because I just couldn't stand the smell of it anymore. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love fish. I used to get the orange. My dad would always buy the orange roughy. You know, those the cheap fish. Now it's the most expensive fish because it's so good. Yeah, I used to eat all that, and now I just stopped eating fish because I just couldn't stand the smell. You know, people say fish is so important in the body. What if you don't like the taste of fish? What do you do then? You know, I got family members that don't like the taste of fish. Um, yeah, best thing you can do is just take an algae-based DHA supplement. Don't get fish oil. Don't harm any fish. They feel pain just like we do. So I would say a little after that, I would say 6 months after that, maybe I stopped drinking milk. I decided I just wanted to stop because, I read a bunch of stuff, and milk is just bad for you. And I wasn't really detailed then. I was still learning all this. Then one day my dad made this egg casserole, and I felt like I was gonna fucking die. Like, my stomach was in so much pain. My stomach was making these weird feelings that I just felt sick. Like I was just gonna like pass out. It was just awful. I stopped eating it. Yeah, and there was some potatoes on the plate too with some cheese, and I just ate that instead. And I was like, okay, mom, dad, I can't eat eggs anymore because I feel like I'm gonna be sick. So I kind of after I ate the eggs and I tasted it, I had to wait like 10 minutes just to let it go down, and I was like, okay, I'm not eating that again. I'm ditching eggs. I'm not doing that again. So eggs were left out, and when I really started to commit was around beginning of 2015. I decided I just wanted to go vegan now. And it was about 6 months of, I would say, just learning the vegan lifestyle, learning, okay, what you can eat, watching the ingredients, the hidden ingredients our government puts in our foods, which is really sad. And learning, all the products we use on a daily basis that actually have animal, products in it. And it's just, sad to think about. And, I saw all the, cruelty videos and all that. I can handle watching that stuff. I know it's sad, and, I do cry sometimes, but, I can sit through it, and I don't just, lots of people just can't watch it. It's so horrible to watch. I haven't seen Earthlings truly, but I already know what's happening. It's just animal cruelty, and, I don't really need to watch it. All I really need to do is recommend it to people. I haven't seen Forks Over Knives. The only thing I've seen is Gary Ruffsky's Best Speech You'll Ever Hear. And actually, let me go back before I became vegan. The only way I became vegan was, trying to eliminate the excuses I had. Well, they weren't really excuses. I never had a problem with vegans. I cherished vegans. I thought they were cool. Like, I wanted to be like that too. But my main concerns, and my dad, taught me all that stuff. Eating healthy is just so expensive. It's gonna be so. And I thought it'd be too hard because you have to give up meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. Like, I was kind of like ignorant and blinded. Like, what am I gonna eat? And I found Freely on our Biggest Loser, or it was either a childhood obesity video or the one I said, the child obesity, or the Biggest Loser, Rachel Fredrickson gaining all her weight back. And I found one of those videos, and I started watching her videos, and then she uploaded all her cancer, what the cancer industry doesn't want you to know, what secrets of the meat, and eggs and milk and fish and stuff like that. I watched all those videos, and I was like, and then once I learned that when she made like the, pretended to answer the argument, well, free I can't go vegan, it's too expensive. Well, I got news for you. A vegan diet is the cheapest. Rice, bananas, beans, lentils, potatoes, green vegetables. Those are the cheapest calories on the planet. And, I did some research, and yeah, she was right. She was right. And, at the beginning of 2015, I became vegan. And, I ate a lot of that stuff. I did ditch a lot of, processed food and stuff like that. I didn't live off, like, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I did that when I was, cross country and stuff like that. I was pescatarian. I did a lot of that stuff. But, and I lived off a lot of Morningstar and Boca and occasional Gardein because it was very expensive. But now where we live, the price has gone down, so it's a lot more affordable. You guys get it for like 2 for $7, so it's a lot more affordable now. And where I live, we don't live in a vegan-friendly area. We're getting vegan products, though. We're getting a lot more support in our local grocery stores. What else can I say? And, I was really never I thought being vegan, okay, that was enough for my health. I didn't really need exercise. I would just focus on life and, try to make the best of it. But, I realized that, I do need to exercise. So, recently I just got into cycling, and right now I'm currently looking for a road bike. I'm just looking on Craigslist all over, trying to find the right size and stuff like that. I'm about a 22, 23 large, and I do have a bike. I just reached my goal for 50 miles. I rode 50.8 miles in 3 hours 46 minutes. That's an average of 13.4 miles an hour. I rode a long way. It was just a straight shot. Turn around, go back. I think that's about it. And, every day I watch YouTube. I watch Freely, During Runner, Vegan Gains, Sorsha, the Vegan Activist, occasional times Bite-Sized Vegan. Actually, the first channels I watched were the Vegan Zombie and Eco Vegan Gal and some other small YouTubers who don't really, aren't really on YouTube anymore. But Vegan Zombie, I actually found him looking for a stuffed pepper recipe for vegan, and I watched him. I liked his style, so I immediately subscribed. Eco Vegan Gal, she was very calm and compassionate, and big time hippie, and she has a lot of vlogs and stories, and lots of good tips and stuff like that. So I subscribed to her too. And that was probably my first, few vegan channels. That was back in 2009, 2010. Yeah, that was before Freely and Durin Rider, and they got big. Yeah. All right, that's about it. That's basically the story of how I became vegan. I was a big kid. I got picked on a lot. Kind of got voiced over. Shut it up by people, and just being shy and all that. And then in choir in freshman year, I found a group of kids that actually gave a shit about me. They helped me realize that my voice is important. It's okay to speak your mind, and that helped a lot. Basically the reason I'm able to speak now. Yep, and guys, a lot more I could say, but this video is already 30 minutes, so I'm going to cut it out right now. So guys, thank you for watching. If you guys kind of had the same experience, and being big as a kid, and then joining the sport, and learning about healthy eating and stuff, and being environmentalist, and want to be environmentally friendly as possible, then definitely leave a comment below, because I would love to know, and I would love to know your experience in going vegan. Definitely leave a comment below. And if you guys want to find me on social network, I don't do Facebook. I got rid of that at the beginning of the year. I do Vegan Amino, which is a iOS and Android app. You can find it in the iOS App Store, the Android, Google Play Store. And my profile is Vegan Technology. And I have my bio. My name is Michael. I'm 20 years old. Has my story in there. And as a vegan, the green saying for compassion and for the animals and for the people and all that stuff. So you can find me on there if you want to get a hold of me. And if you definitely got sent to that app by watching this video, definitely let me know. I got sent by the vegan activists. I started there. I found a bunch of vegan people. That's what I love about the app, because it's all vegan people. There are some trolls that occasionally come on, but all I like to do is just flag them for review, and then they get taken off. So yeah, that's the end of the video, and my voice is really dry now, so I gotta go drink some water because I don't usually talk this long. So if you guys liked the video, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.